Welcome back, nerds. Fino here with a primer for tonight's hunting quest. This time around, we have knights and they drop medals. Now there is a lottery event next year, Grand Nerofest, which also gives medals. But what you'll see is that, well, I'm in a hurry. And if you are, this is a pretty good place to get them in the short term. Now, this team is a little CE heavy, but this node is not a very nice one to farm. But if you play your cards right, you can actually do it with just 2 attackers. Now, before this, I did a test run with Squirturia, and Squirturia, even with Black Grail, can actually hard loop the second wave, which is pretty impressive. So if you have Squirturia, she has a much easier time of it than Chloe does, just on account of her ridiculous hit count. But yeah, on wave 1, I'm gonna pop... I almost called her Saber. I'm gonna pop Castoria's attack buff, and the reason for this is that the Nobu that you see over here has a chance to spawn, and it is significantly thicker than the Knight it replaces, so Arash can actually have trouble meeting this damage requirement. Especially at like base level 60. Now if you're worried, you can either follow him up with face cards from like Chloe. Oh my god, look at how bad that is. Jesus Christ. Yeah, alternatively, you could give your Castoria a starting charge CE. It'd have to be a pretty thick one, or you need her append, because you really want her second skill to go on to Chloe. But yeah, I'll be treating this as if the monster died, and you didn't actually get any extra charge. So all the skills go on to Chloe at this point. And on top of this, I'm actually going to pop her second skill. Now, at first, I didn't think you needed this, but you actually do. Because if you don't, there's a chance that you can undershoot and end up with 27% charge, which is way too little. Now, this would be easier if you could get Chloe's append, but that is quite tricky. You see, early welfare servants, servant coins for them are quite scarce. And so I think you'd have needed to, like, overbond Chloe to even like try and get her like charge append. So yeah, that's not a really practical option. Good news though is that with Black Grail, you can and should be able to kill this knight without any trouble. Now if you don't have Black Grail, you have to make a choice. Now I mentioned giving Castoria starting charge earlier. And if you don't need it, or you're willing to risk having to brawl on the Arash wave, what you can do instead is use it here. But as you can see, with a super Black Grail, even without her second skill, she can kill the knight. But yeah, hope you all found that helpful. My recommendation again is to use Squirturia if you have her, but if you don't, Chloe gets the job done. Otherwise, you may be looking at like 3 attackers, or like a swap support. Uriel should be able to make the damage check on the final knight, because I do believe the knights are male. The problem, though, is that Uriel don't loop so good. So you'll have to figure that part out. But yeah, good luck, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.